Hi there, Sagittarius. Welcome to Eyes to See Tarot and your general freestyle reading for the upcoming weeks ahead. This is a general read, and then doesn't necessarily revolve around love and relationships, but it comes up in the spread. I'll be sure to let you know. All right. What do we have for my Sagittarius? Overall energy for my Sagittarius. Eight of Swords. There is something coming to light. You're starting to see there's something that, I don't know, you might have been raised with, could have been raised with, doing things at work that you didn't necessarily understand. I'm going to pull a couple more cards to get a better idea exactly where this is going. But for your first draw and the overall energy, pretty good. What else do I have for my Sagittarius? Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So, it seems like the veil has been lifted. You're understanding things just a little bit more clearly, and it's like a back to the drawing board. Bottom of the deck, it's the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and you're kind of physically withdrawing also. It's, like I said, at this point, I really still don't have a very clear picture about what this entails, but I do see some sort of clarity, some sort of change of plans or occupation, or investment and interest, right? I want it to be a ballerina, but the shoes hurt my feet, so I'm not going to buy shoes anymore. Like that. Can I have a few clarifiers about the situation at hand, please? What's under you? You want to come out. The High Priestess in reverse. There's something to do with some secrets, or you're withdrawing and keeping your peace about a situation. Like you've seen something and you seem to be holding your tongue, holding back. Okay. So Sag, so far this is not going, it's not going cool. It's not. It seems to tell me that there are friends that are also keeping secrets, so, but somehow you found out or was able to see. And you're withdrawing from those friends and people. You're kind of like pulling back from a little bit. And, well, because you really can't trust them. They were keeping secrets from you, like, okay, there's the Two of Wands and the Knight of Swords. There is still some sort of crossroads. Like you're still deciding whether or not you want to say anything or not, right? Right now it still seems like a little bit of a shock, honestly. The Eight of Wands is fast incoming communication. It's like kind of really beating at your door. I venture to say that you put like 2 and 2 together or something like that, but what it's looking like is with the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck, it was like fast incoming communication is kind of what it denotes, but at the same time the feeling that I'm getting is that you kind of put it together, you know, whatever it is. And the Page of Wands at the bottom, no, I think that somebody might have kind of slipped. Somebody kind of might have said something. Somebody kind of slipped. What is this about? Spirit, can you tell me what this is about? I like it when it does that. It's like it's looking to reword it for me. Yeah. Wow. Okay, bottom of the deck, it's the Nine of Swords. This is a lot of worry, a lot of strife. Like you're very anxious, anxiety. But what came out is the Five of Swords. The High Priestess in reverse. For the third time during this reading, the High Priestess is out in reverse. And the Nine of Cups. So it seems like instead of saying something, okay, this is your two paths. You could say something and have an argument about it, or you can take the Five of Swords, the underhanded route. This is the defeat at all costs. This, it doesn't matter who, when, where, why, taking them out. And the best way to do that is through secrecy. Like if they didn't know that I knew, or if they didn't know that I was mad, or if they didn't know that I was upset, this will, well, the Nine of Cups is emotional independence, but not only that, it's like satisfaction, emotional satisfaction. Let's see. Dare I ask more? For some of y'all, I am getting work only because the Seven of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, right? Like maybe you found out they were going to hire somebody. Okay, so with the King of Wands here, it's not leading by example. It's not being a stand-up kind of character. And the Nine of Wands. Something about not being content, right? So this could be a masculine, or it could be a boss. Like I said, I'm kind of King of Pentacles in reverse and the Knight of Cups in reverse. A withdrawn proposal, unstable, uncompassionate, incompassionate, unhappy, ungrateful. So say, okay, so I'm going to go two separate ways. I'm going to go like, if this is a boss, it's like it didn't matter how many times you showed up for overtime. It didn't matter how many split-second call-ins that you showed up for and worked double shifts or whatever. It's like it never made them happy. It never made them happy. And then pulling away or withdrawing or not offering you a raise, or if it was a relationship, this person is just emotionally codependent. Really, they were keeping secrets from you and you found out. And you want to say something about it, right? But there's just something about holding your tongue and walking away that kind of fulfills you more, because you know what? You got the chicken secret recipe anyway, right? You are still kind of worried about it at this time. Okay, I do see the Eight of Swords, okay, but there's something about this course of action that you don't see coming. There's something about this plan that you don't see coming. You're kind of... I see a little bit more? I see the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, there's something that I don't see coming about going at it alone, or a hire lawyer. I see Judgment in the reverse. It's something about the revenge state that you don't see, that might not get you as content as you think. There's something about it that you're not seeing. Okay, can I see a little bit more? Bottom of the deck, it's the Six of Wands. Being known for that. Being known for that. I don't want to be known as that person, but I could be that person, Sagittarius. If I ever met a Sagittarius in my life, this doesn't sound like you. It doesn't sound like you would be second-guessing this at all. Y'all usually go for the jugular, for the most part, from what I have gathered. But there's something that you don't see. Can I see a little bit more? I don't see it working out the way that you think that it's going to work out. And you might have a fleeting sense of fulfillment and contentment, and a short-lived period. Say there's a severance package. That severance package isn't really going to last you like you think it's going to last you, right? So in this particular case, it seems like, in all actuality, I'm going to see a little bit more about this part, because it seems like keeping your peace and keeping the secret and going for the jugular kind of thing in this thing, whereas it does bring fleeting, short-lived satisfaction, and it's not going to for the long run, right? So let's look a little bit closer into actually just saying something, speaking out and saying something. But honestly, let me tell you something. With the High Priestess coming out in reverse 3 times, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of energy to support the speaking out part. It would ease your mind, you know. Now, first of all, this is what is happening or what is going on. But is it really what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Is it really what's going on? Because it seems to say that if you were to go ahead and speak out and say something, there's a lot of those worries that is causing you to do this thing right here, this lashing out, this going for the jugular, this keeping your peace and finding satisfaction in that, there's a lot of those things that would be laid to rest. So I dare say this is not as it seems. Bottom of the deck is the Six of Cups. It's a lot more innocent than what you're making it out to be, right? Oh, am I going to title this "You're Overreacting"? Get your facts straight. Am I? Because it had me going too. I was like, oh my God. Right? Right, Sag? So, I mean, they slipped up. They said something. You put two and two together. You figured it all out. Right? But I think the trick here is the lack of communication, the need for secrecy. Well, they didn't tell me anything. They kept it from me. They kept it a secret from me. So I'm going to keep this a secret from them. They're going to figure out exactly how I feel about this, what's going on, because I'm going to get them, right? But that's the trick. That's the illusion. That's the trick here. That could explain why going for the jugular here and keeping your peace and having that satisfaction, that's what really kind of scares me about all Sagittarius, swear, is that this, look, there is some peace, there is some emotional satisfaction from this right here. I know 15 if I know one, you know. My mother, my daughter, my BFF I had over here for like 3 months, my ex, like I was surrounded by Sagittarius for a minute, and let me tell you, I was swimming in it. I heard it all from all sides, and this is okay. So there's something about keeping your peace and going for the jugular that keeps you blindfolded and does not work out in the long run for your highest good and your overall sense of peace and well-being, or the happiness, right? It is short term, it's just not long term. But if you, that second, you know, like you're at the crossroads and I could keep it a secret and I can just do them like they did me, right? Or I could actually communicate it and say something and have a lot of fears, worries, stress, things put to rest. I could. Because then I understand a little bit more about how it works or what is working. Because there's more than one person involved. It's I want to know a little bit more about the person that you're dealing with, because with the King of Wands in reverse, the Nine of Cups in reverse, the King of Pentacles in reverse, and the Knight of Cups in reverse, it almost seems like they're blaming you for something. Sagittarius, this is a mess. This is a mess. Okay, don't forget about that 3 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. What worries will be eased? What does Sagittarius need to know? What does Sagittarius need to know at this time? Okay. There is an ending of some sort. There's an ending of some sort. But mainly, for the most part, it's almost like this secrecy or this lack of communication or this mistrust in the mix, right? That is causing the ending. Because for the most part, and you see there's this deciding thing again. So this is my second reading of free will. But it just keeps telling me that the Tower is coming. The Tower is coming because of assumptions. And I heard this from somebody, or I put it together, you know. I overheard you, or I got some sort of message or something like that, and I'm really all up in my head, and I'm worried, and I'm withdrawing, right? But I see things clearly, and I don't even want this job anymore, and I don't even want to be around you anymore, because, you know, I can't trust you. So instead of talking about it, these are my 2 options. I can talk about it and have my worries put to rest, right? And realize that maybe there are things to worry about. But right now, what I'm seeing is the thing that has to be worried about is the communication. Now, I'm not just talking about sitting there having a conversation with somebody. I'm talking about the ability to trust them. You know, I'm talking about their ability to trust me. Because if things did go south, I'd cut their throat in a second, you know? But there seems to be some clashing of there seems to be some clashing of chemistry, dare I say, right? The 2 personality types, or the personality of the group that you work in, right? There seems to be like, this is what I am, and it wouldn't offend or scare or worry like 85% of the people, but because you are prone to these character traits, it's like it's a recipe for some sort of disaster, unless there is communication on the table. And for that to happen, they have to trust you, you have to trust them. You know, there has to be some communication, and like I said, it's not just superficial communication. It's deep. It's understanding. It's comprehension. It's empathy. It's understanding of both sides as you were sitting on that side. So I'm not just listening to you to hear you tell me what I want to hear, right? I need to be able to sit there and listen to you, and then somehow be able to put myself in your position. I need to know what it's like to be you, to understand empathy, you know? Not just you're supposed to, or you're supposed to tell me you know? Or how dare you work me 48 hours a week and then not tell me that you weren't paying overtime for this, you know? Or you led me to believe that I was going to get the management position, so I put in all this extra work, I put in all this extra time, I put in all this extra dedication, and then to only realize that there was no position, there was no such position. I don't see that they gave the position to anybody else. I'm getting the impression that it's a Lilith story. I was led to believe that I'd be able to do this if I put this amount of work in, and I'm not getting that. You know, there's no such thing. I feel like a fool, so I'm not doing anything anymore. It's like you're lucky if you get 5 hours out of me, much less 48. You understand? I'm withdrawing. So I guess the big thing now would be to address, because this is a personal progression channel, so I want to be able to address this whole matching energies, or do unto others as, you know, I wish you would kind of thing, that wants to get you close enough to love a job or to love a person, you know, and then when things don't go how you expected them to go, for you to turn on them. Then you were always prepared to turn on them, you know. So that would be a thing that you'd need to address this month, right? But the biggest piece of advice that I can give you in this reading, Sagittarius, is go ahead and put on them big girl and boy panties and make the decision to communicate before you act out on, and I'm not going to call them assumptions. I'm not. For the most part, it looks like it's not what you think it is, right? But at the same time, it's way more serious. The issues inside of the relationship or the job, or, you know, it's way more serious than you suspect, because you're suspecting something really surface level, right? So, but if you go ahead and address those concerns, speak your piece, you know, bring it up to the group or bring it up to your relationship, there's a lot of things that will be put at peace, but then still you'll be able to stop that tower from coming down, right? But invariably the foundation of the tower is still there, so it has the chance to blow up again, because until these things are resolved, the chemistry issue or the clashing in personalities, you know, no matter how much you try to smooth them over, I see them. I see them right there. And why would it make you happy to get revenge on somebody, a workplace that you claim to love, or a person, right? King of Swords. All right, check that. You'll stop worrying about it. You'll be able to see that and discern the truth for what it is. And that's about all I have for you. My advice is to go ahead and express your concerns, so that you can make those first steps into dissolving this secrecy. And everybody's got a secret, and everybody's hiding something from somebody, because nobody can trust anybody else. You know, you'll be able to dissolve that just by kind of speaking out. And as a bonus, the things that you were overly anxious about, the things you were worried about, the things that you were scared of, the things that were keeping you up at night, will also be resolved at that time. Can you do it, Sagittarius? I have faith in you. I really do. And so, until next time, I hope to see you all again real soon. And thanks for stopping at Eyes to See Tarot.